Going on, everybody? My name is Jose, and I got some very exciting things to share with y'all today. So if y'all been following the channel, y'all know that I've been wanting to get a little bit more into gun streaming, gun tubing, whatever you guys want to call it. But I've also been doing video games in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Originally, the channel was just about doing video games only. And today, I actually get a chance to test my gun knowledge, and not really gun knowledge, but to put my skills to the test. We are going to a competition out in Top Gun shooting range, which is somewhere out there by Highway 6, to do a shoot move course competition style. Me and my buddy Juan signed up for the amateur leagues, and it's our first one, so I'm super excited about this stuff. I actually never been a part of anything outside of this out of the Army. And in the Army, we have a lot of shoot and move drills as well. But majority of the time, if you're not a lieutenant or higher, you don't really get a chance to deal with their pistols. And I've been very fortunate enough that I was always cool with my lieutenants, where I was like, hey, LT, do you mind? Or like, because I was always volunteering. So I was like, hey, LT, do you mind? Like, if maybe I can run that pistol course right quick and this and that. And because I was always volunteering and I was always like just being a good soldier, that I got a lot of like help thrown my way. So today we're going to do that. We're going to experience some new things. I'm actually very excited to learn this because I do a little bit of shooting on my own. I am not an expert by any means of the sense. AR expert all day. I can shoot 40 out of 40. Not worried about that. With my pistol, it's a little bit more different for me, and I would still consider myself a novice. No, maybe a beginner shooter with my pistol, because I have some knowledge of it, right? But, ooh, get a little bit of gas in here. So, that's what we're going to end up doing today. I'm not sure how long the course is going to be, but I do know it's a competition. Got my rig set up. It's currently around my waist, so I want to explain to you guys my breakdown of this, and then later on, I'll have my buddy Juan, if he wants to come on camera, to explain his rig. But the competition is going to start sometime at 8. It's currently almost 4 o'clock today, and I don't have the words to describe like what I'm feeling right now for this. Like, it's not jitters, it's more of an excitement, because I've been very fortunate enough to be able to do stuff like this, and now I actually want to be able to run this, test my skills, probably pick up some new skills. And I'm going in with the mindset that I don't know everything, so maybe being able to pick up some new skills and maybe a new technique from somebody that's like, hey dude, if you draw or if you punch out like this, or if you reload like that, or do whatever, maybe X, Y, and Z, and maybe pick up some new skills and some new techniques from other guys out there that are very avid shooters. So I'm hoping for that. But let's get into this breakdown right quick. So today, my pistol of choice is going to be my Staccato. Specifically the C2, which is coming in at a 3.9 inch barrel, 16+1 in the chamber, and a 4 to 4.5 pound trigger. So as you know, be safe with these things. They're not toys, and mine is not loaded. As you can see, it's empty. But these things are not toys. They're dangerous. So make sure every time that you point these at something and or someone, you are prepared to pull that trigger, because going like this to someone else and pointing this at somebody else is not a joke. So, but besides that, we're going out there to have fun today. So we have my Staccato C2. We have a drop leg holster. Got my spare mags here on my side, which my hope is to be able to come out and draw real quick. This is normally set up for my AR, so I'm not really too set up for it, so I did it in the best way I could to where my pistols or my mags are still here comfortable enough for me to pick up and put in. I had them back here at some point, and it wasn't too bad, but it was just from coming from this firing position to reaching back here was a pain. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna reach here and put up and put in. So the bag is here because I don't know how they run their competition, so I don't want to drop my mags on the floor, so I'm just gonna drop them in here as I pull in for a new one. And then the belt is a 2-part belt. So it's a Velcroed on system with a nice utility belt underneath. This is coming from Sheepdog. So that's this plan. I'm ready, I'm excited, and me and my homie are gonna tell y'all, 1, how we feel going into it, 2, how we feel after it, because I mean, it happens. It's competition, nervous, jitters, they happen. So when we're done with all this, hopefully we pick up some new skills. Hopefully we go somewhere else, and you know, we keep going on with this journey. Later on, I actually want to get into 3-gun. I'm not a professional when it comes to shooting shotguns at all. I just got one. It's a Beretta A300 Patrol. I wanted to say Alpha 300, but same thing. And I love it. One of the best shotguns I've ever gotten for the price. Semi-auto shotgun. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I have my AR. So hopefully if I get into 3-gun, I'm going to keep this setup, but I'm going to have to figure out how to do maybe pouches, Molly pouches for the shotgun. There it is. The shotgun shells. Because I've seen some guys, because I have a chest rig as well. I mean, I have my personal one in the military, so I could probably put some Velcro straps with those little shells I can just rip off and start putting them in, or I could just start taking them from there. But we'll talk about that at a different time. But for now, stay tuned, guys. The competition will be taking place in like 4 hours. We're gonna try to get there around 7:30. Ask the owners if it's okay for us to even record or even set up some type of camera, so we can get at least, I don't want to record everyone, but I at least want to record mine and Juan's footage of it all. So if they'll at least let us do that, so hopefully they'll allow us to do that, and I can put this footage here for you guys to watch.
Hey, what's up, guys? We're doing our first competition here at Top Gun. My thoughts going into it is just to have fun. My first time, so I know I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm looking forward to it. See how it goes. Peace.
Alright, so round 1 was a build drill. It's pop up 6, reload, pop up another 6. Yeah, I have to give credit to my homie right here. He trooped through on all these malfunctions. I did have to end up pausing the video because he had a lot more malfunctions, and I thought the judges were gonna set him to the side to look at his equipment. But give my boy a like for pushing through and troopering through through all these malfunctions.
Yeah, I have one. It's in my bag right now. I love it. I'm gonna rack it.
So round 2 is a build drill at 15 yards. So punch out, pop 6, reload, punch out, pop 6 again. So after this malfunction that he had right here, he was able to listen to that instructor because he was not being seated correctly. What ended up happening was that he was death gripping the mag so hard that he was pressing the release button that would cause the smallest gap between his mag and the mag well. So he wasn't able to properly seat those rounds. So he does a little tap right here, punches out, gets back into the fight, and execute the order. Here goes my round 1 footage of the build drill. Not gonna lie, wasn't nervous at first, but I wasn't nervous at all in general, but I ended up dropping my mag here because I forgot that if I go in with a full round mag, it doesn't seat correctly unless I have the slide lock back.
always downrange.
Alright.
Doesn't matter, always downrange.
You're the only one doing it.
It really only takes one.
Are you ready?
I ran that shit.
Hands up.
Hands off the gun.
So round 3 is going to be a double tap drill. We are going to be facing away from our targets. We're going to spin around in a 180, acquire our targets, punch out, double tap all 3, reload, double tap again. So round 4 is going to be the same scenario, but at 15 yards.
You have some.
Much better. That's why you gotta count them. Didn't even hit that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to focus on grip.
What's going on, y'all? So we just finished shooting at a Top Gun shooting range with our first competition shooting done out the way. And my boy Juan, he did his own little thing there too. For the most part, a little rough. I want the smoothest, in my opinion. I don't think it was the smoothest, but they did some things I wasn't accustomed to doing, accustomed to working on. But that's what I went for. I went for new experience and to learn some new things, and I definitely learned some new things. I suck at bill drills, so it's something I'm gonna have to work on in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to Juan because I'm driving, so I don't want to crash.
What's going on, y'all? So originally, like I mentioned earlier, the train of thought was to go in, have fun, go smooth. Yeah, that went out the window the first time I went up. Had a couple jams, more like 8 jams. Maybe the video will catch how many jams I had. I got nervous.
It was about a solid 10 jams.
Probably about 10 jams. I was a bit nervous. I will say throughout the course though, I relaxed, and by the end of the second course, I had no jams. But as I switched over to my technique to slow down and get better, I sacrificed shooting the actual targets and I missed more. But at the end of the day, I think safety was the top priority, even if I did miss my shots. But I will say my technique improved.
I feel like you actually hit more when you slow down, except for the 222 where we had to turn around. That one you kind of missed, but I feel like once you actually slow down, you actually landed more of your shots. I feel like, anyways.
Yeah, I've never done these drills. I've never done the 222 or the drill. What were they called?
Bill drills.
The bill drills. Shoot 6 times, reload, shoot 6 times again. That's where I had my jams. But I feel like I should have most of the targets, even though with the jams.
You want the last starburst?
Yes, I will. Look, he gave me that starburst. That's how I know he loves me. When it came to the 2x2, I ain't never done the spin, and Joey said I looked like I was gonna break dance the moment I turned. It felt like it. I felt like I was gonna lose my balance for a second, but I mean, overall, I think first competition was definitely well worth it. Learned new techniques on how to grip the gun, hold the gun. Not my first time shooting, but my first time shooting under pressure. When you're shooting at a range, you have more time to adjust your grip, look down. There's nobody timing you. There's no beeping in your ear. But overall, we'll do this again.
I think that was the one thing that did get me, bro. Was I'm not used to that timer, so hearing that go off to hear beep, because I'm like so in the zone, and that other dude's timer, dude, that shit was loud as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would hear that one, I'm like, oh, that's not mine, and then beep, and I'm like, oh, that is mine. So other than that,
And so subscribe to my boy. I don't know his handle yet.
Jose of all trades. Jose of all trades.
Jose of all trades. If you come back at us, we'll shoot you back on the next competition.
What are the audio? What's going on, y'all? We're back. So, I'm currently doing some edits on the videos that for the shooting range for our Top Gun first competition shooting. So a couple mistakes that, oh, not a couple mistakes, but a couple corrections that I didn't have a chance to do in the middle of the competition, because with all the gunfire and everything, you wouldn't have heard me. It wasn't a shoot move. They messed up the wall so bad, and you'll see it in the videos, and I'll try to put an arrow to point it out. But you'll see in the videos that there's so much damage to those walls that they had to have hire a repair crew to come in and do a patch job for them, because there was not really holes in the walls, but the walls were actually kind of breaking. So we kind of got out of there a little bit sooner than what it should have. A lot of the guys there that are like veterans or maybe second or third time go arounds are like, hey man, this one's gonna be a little bit different. They're gonna be doing bill drills and 222 drills, which going into it, bill drills was not something that I expected, because I'm not really good at them. There's not a lot of ranges that will let you practice bill drills, because they want you to go single shot with a second in between is how most ranges want you to do them. And bill drills require you to draw from your holster and put out 5 to 6, depending on who's doing the drill, on paper, reload, and put another 5 to 6 on paper again. But most shooting ranges that are around here will not let you draw from your holster and punch outwards as you're doing your shooting. They want you to be safe. They don't want you to cause any issues to the people next to you or anything like that. So it's a little bit harder to practice bill drills around here. But now I know that bill drills are going to be essential for shooting competitions in the future, so I'm going to be practicing those a little bit more. As far as everything else, the 222 drill was not something I practiced, but it was a little bit more within my wheelhouse. Was not used to the facing the opposite direction on the start to turn around on a 180 to acquire target, punch out, and go bang, 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 reload, and then bang, 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 all over again. So, hey, it was fun. It was not what I was expecting for the first time, because I was expecting shooting and moving. There should be one coming up this Thursday. Hopefully I'll have the chance to register for that. If not, I'll catch the next one, because there's every Thursday. But honestly, super chill environment, super cool. My honest thoughts and reflections about it. So thoughts after the initial competition shooting. There was a couple mistakes that I feel like I had made, and they were simple mistakes. Once I was able to relax and get in my comfort zone, I was able to execute like how I would normally do. But I will admit, I'm not an expert. I made the silly mistakes, and I call them silly mistakes. But I know from my pistol, if I have my magazine fully loaded, unless I have the slide open and locked back to the rear, inserting a full stacked mag into it will cause it to have probably like this much of a gap in it, and it won't seat the mag right. So that was my fault. I should have known, I should have remembered that going into that competition, that if my slide is slammed forward, that I cannot feed a full mag in there. So I probably should have taken out maybe about 3 or 4 rounds, because we weren't using the whole mag anyway. So I could have taken out some rounds and made it to where it was easier for me to reload and seat that mag correctly. So for next time, I'll go in with the mindset that I don't always have to keep a full mag, because I don't think a lot of these guys were keeping full mags, but it was a mistake on my part that I made, and then I corrected it. Because the first build drill, I came up, and you'll see it in the video, because I'm currently doing my edits right now talking about it. So I come up, and as I punch outwards, I dropped the mag. Like I thought I loaded it, and then I dropped the mag, and I was like, damn, did I really just drop my mag? That was the whole thought process in my head. So I dropped my mag, and I was like, man, why did I do that? And then so I picked it back up, and I kept pushing, and I was like, oh, that's right, I can't seat a full mag in my staccato, because there's something within the gun to where if the slide's slammed forward, I can't do it. So I ended up correcting that though in my next build drill, because I had already started to use those magazines, and made it easier to sit, punch out, pop 6 on target, reload, punch out again, and which was a little bit easier. As for the next course, the next iteration of fire, it was I don't remember the name of it, but I called it a 2-2-2 drill. So you come up, you had 3 targets in front of you, you're facing the audience, and then you do a 180, and then you draw. And as you draw, you come out and you punch all 3 targets with 2 rounds each, and you reload and then punch again and put 2 on paper again. So it wasn't too bad. There I did make my corrections. I made my corrections there to be not a full mag. I actually went back out and unloaded it, so I was able to punch in my mag smoothly, and then I was also able to lock my slide back to the rear, because I'm used to my gun being empty on me reloading. So trying to like recalibrate my mind within this competition of dumping my mag even though it's not empty to put in a new one messed me up, because I'm very used to reloading. I practice reloading on an empty mag. That way I can dump the old mag, put in the new mag, and then press the slide release to ride my slide forward. So my mindset was a little bit different, because I would be going there and I was like, oh, hit the slide release. Oh, I didn't have to hit the slide release. Like I still have 1 in the chamber, this and that. So I was going through muscle memory, and my muscle memory was leading me wrong there. But other than that, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. My buddy Juan, I will say, is a trooper, because there are parts in this video where Juan goes through it. And his first time up, I stopped recording, and then it comes back up for like an 8 seconds. And this is where I stopped recording, and it came back into the point where I was like, okay, the judges are going to tell him that he needs to step off to the side, that he needs to go get his equipment sorted. No, these guys are different. Like, his first load, he pops the first round and it jams. I'm like, okay, it happens. Like, and that's what I talked to him about. I was like, hey, Juan, if your gun jammed, you got to do tap, rank, bang, drop the mag, pull your slide back, try to get everything out, try to get the malfunction out, clear it out. And so he did that pretty well. He did a lot of his tap, rack, bang. Unfortunately, when he did the tap, rack, bang, like he tapped down here and he racked it again, but he caused not a double feed, but he gave himself like a little stovepipe at one of them, and then he pulled out the mag for another one. And so when he put it back in and did the tap rack, it didn't seat correctly. He like halfway seated it, and there's probably like, you'll see it, like there's probably this much between the chamber and his slide, where we start going through and he goes to press the trigger and nothing happens. And so later on I told him, I was like, hey bud, next time that happens where you go tap rack bang and you don't chamber correctly, or you're not in battery, tap the back of your pistol to ride it forward. And it's the same thing with an AR. You know, the AR, you got that little push assist to where if your chamber is not seated correctly, you can just tap that in and it'll push it in. So I was like, man, yeah, just tap the back of your gun and you'll be seated correctly. So I won't lie, I did stop recording it, just so it wouldn't embarrass him. But for a beginner, he did very well. Like, he listened to the corrections that he needed to make. He made those corrections. His first couple of build drills, they didn't run so smoothly because the first one he had a lot of jams, but they didn't tell him to stop, and he pushed through it. Like me, I would have gave up. I'd have gave up and like went to look at my gear to see what happened. He trooper through that all the way through. So more props to you, Juan, for being a trooper there. His second build drill, same thing happened. He had a little bit. He had like 1 or 2 malfunctions this time, but it was a lot better than his first time go around. And then we went to stage 2. Stage 2, Juan is hysterical because Juan was a dancer beforehand. Like, he like choreographed 15s and everything. He actually helped me choreograph my sister's 15, and he likes to do like break dance moves and stuff like that. And on the turnaround, like, if he knew that he didn't have to keep his hands like down here to the side, I really felt like he would have put his hand here on that like little 360 to go and turn. Like, that's really what I felt like he would have done. And it kind of looks like he wanted to do it, but he was like staying focused, and he like did his turnaround and then drew his gun. So more power to him. So I think at the end of the course, it was super dope. I stayed tense for probably the first half because trying to relax and trying to compete. It got to me a little bit, got to my nerves. Well, not my nerves, but got to the competitor side of things, to where I'm still kind of feeling my shoulders a little bit just from being so tense on my punch out. I'm still feeling my shoulders a little bit. Corrections for next time is have less bullets in the mags. We gotta get Juan a better holster. We gotta get Juan a better pistol in general. By we, I mean him, because I love him, but I don't love him that much. But we're gonna look at him. We're gonna give him some more options as of pistols to look at, and then we'll go from there. As for me, simple holsters, I'm gonna try to recommend him a different holster, like my Safariland holster, but we're currently working on that. Like, this journey is gonna be a long one, but hopefully we stick with it, and it's something that I see myself doing a lot. Kwane, I hope he comes through with me, and I hope he stays. But other small corrections that we need to make are just like the confidence level of it, going through and running it as much as we can to where it's muscle memory on having to reload, being able to clear malfunctions, and being able to seat and get in battery faster. A lot of other things were food. Definitely bring food, because I was hungry. I was going through the course at some point, and I wanted to record the whole course, but like, out of respect for people, I just kind of recorded my section of fire and Juan's section of fire. And because I was only recording small sections of fire, I wasn't able to get everyone else's in the background. And there were some parts where if I would have kept recording, people were just saying some funny things. It was a cool atmosphere overall, but I was walking back to my bag and I was like, man, I'm sure hungry right now. And I'm thinking that in my head, and this guy, well, I guess he was talking to another one of his buddies, and they must have been hungry too. He's like, man, what y'all don't know about me is I come fully loaded. and he pulls out a bag of Chick-fil-A, and he just starts eating in the middle of competition with his like rig, his setup, and he's just sitting there eating. And so I thought it was like the funniest thing. So food next time for sure. So what we got? Better equipment, less rounds and mags, food, and overall, I think relaxing, learning how to relax during this competition is important, because the more tense you are can also cause you to miss your shots. I know for that first build drill, I was super tense, because when I punched out and you look at the paper, everything is down here. And this, like, I get some in the A zone, but then everything else comes out this way. And that was pretty much like me tensing up on the relax, like instead of relaxing. So I started pressing the trigger and I started pulling downwards because I was so tensed up. So learning how to relax a little bit more. And it's funny because I know how to relax for certain competitions. Like I do jiu-jitsu on the side, and relaxing in jiu-jitsu is a whole different mentality of things, you know, because you can only relax so far, to where like if somebody has you and some type of triangle, or let's say Americana, you kind of like, you don't want to relax too much, because somebody, like if you relax too much, you give them you give them the position. You want to relax enough to where you can like extend your arm, pull back in, or even with a triangle, like you want to come up and posture up on a triangle, and you kind of want to relax enough to where you're not so tense that you're gonna hurt yourself, and to where you can either come out and do like a swimmer, some type of move to get out. And that's where you gotta learn when to be tense and when to relax, and like learn your body and move. And so coming out with the gun, I thought I'd been like, I know how to relax. Nope, completely wrong. So learning how to relax, another important strategy there for next time. I think next time what I might do is probably, there's a different camera that I want to get, because right now I use a GoPro Hero 10. They actually have a pistol camera that I can mount on a cap or some type of band, and I wanted to do that with this one, which is cool, but I think I might run both. I think I might run my GoPro so y'all can see the outer and like the way I move, and then the pistol one so you can see like the punch outs and what I'm looking at and what my gun sees too. So I don't know, that's just a fruitful thought for the future. But as far as everything else, guys, thank y'all for watching my video. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the 35 people that are currently following me, because I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get better. I know some of these contents are a little bit rough. I'm trying to get better at editing. I didn't do a lot of editing. Once I went to the Army, it was just all Army work and trying to be a good soldier. Now I'm back, so now we'll get more jiu-jitsu, more guns, more games. So I appreciate y'all for sticking with me. I hope y'all stick with me in the future. And you know, thank you guys for y'all support. Hit that like button. Follow me if you haven't. And I'll see y'all next time.